Today, I'm going to be giving you all an update on MrBeast and the new rumors that have been against him, as well as mainly talk about the results of the private investigation that was made by him against Chris Tyson, and to also look into other allegations. Because it's been exposed that MrBeast has possibly lied and also just seems like a sketchy response overall. I honestly want to wait till some other creators made a video on this to see if my opinions were shared or not with other creators, and not just random Twitter folk. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I already made a couple of videos talking about this situation going on with MrBeast and some other stuff that is in this video that you all can go check out. Those videos, like the titles and thumbnails, will be on the screen, and they'll also be linked in the description below in chronological order. To start with, one of the rumors is that there has been rumors that Lunchly is being discontinued, and from my research and from basically one of the most recent articles at the time of making this video, that is apparently not true, sadly. Despite Lunchly being consistently having mold in it and a danger to kids and anyone eating it, some people say it's a sealing issue, as Lunchly food is not sealed correctly because there's mold in the cheese and like the plastic that goes over your Lunchable that you have to peel off. That's basically the sealing I'm talking about. People are suggesting that that's probably the thing that's bad with it, because a lot of people have been like, yeah, it seems like the ceiling's bad. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's also one of the other rumors of why there is so much mold and such. Also already talked about this, but it's not really a healthier alternative even without the mold like advertised. But let's go ahead and talk about the investigation. MrBeast, after the Chris Tyson exposés came out, said he was going to hire a private investigator to look into Chris Tyson and the work environment overall, as there was exposings of Chris Tyson liking lolly, MrBeast work environment harassment, and MrBeast hiring a pred that wasn't Chris, but someone actually on the registry. These were the three main things that were brought up by ex-employee Dogpack404 and the entire community. In Dogpack404's three-part series that exposed some of these truths, the third video in this series has now been unlisted for reasons I don't really know. Honestly, I kind of call it part 2.5 or 2.25 because it's just not an entire video really. But the first two videos were good, and the third one lacked a lot and caused him to lose a lot of credit in the community. Production of it and the fact he didn't have clear evidence of some of the claims were just two factors as to why the video just was not good. He went on to say that he couldn't talk about certain topics for whatever reason. I'm guessing legally because he got hit with a cease and desist at one point because of the investigation, which you'll figure out later. And that was the reasoning of the poor quality of the video. The video is unlisted if you go to his Twitter and click on that specific video, and there's probably a re-upload of the video. One thing I also want to say too is that this is ridiculous and very stupid of Dogpack. He flexes all the time. He's like, I'm not monetized on YouTube, but personally, I know that money is not everything, but he would have life-changing money, or just a very nice amount of money if he kept if he actually had the channel monetized at some point during this entire investigation, and also just soon in the future, because he can really he can do something with what he has. Also, it seems like Dogpack404 and someone that we're going to talk about later, Rosanna Pacino, have also been exposed for lying supposedly a couple of times. I'm not looking into those lies. I don't really know what those are, and some of this is kind of he said, she said a little bit. To go back to the investigation, the original post by MrBeast on July 24, 2024 says, "Over the past few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Chris Tyson's behavior online. I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough and taken immediate action to remove Chris Tyson from the company, my channel, and any association with MrBeast. I do not condone or support any of the inappropriate actions. I'll allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further action based on those findings." And about 3 months later, MrBeast makes a new tweet that came out on November 1st saying, "A 3-month investigation into allegations regarding my company has concluded. The law firm / investigators reviewed millions of documents and messages and conducted 39 interviews. I was asked to refrain from making public statements to enable a detailed and unbiased investigation. Below are their conclusions." And it reads this: November 1st, 2024, via email, Board of Directors, MrBeast LLC, internal investigation, key findings and conclusions. Dear Board of Directors, as you know, in July 2024, MrBeast LLC, quote, the company, engaged Quinn Emanuel, Urquhart, and Sullivan LLP to conduct an internal investigation to specific allegations made publicly, incidents reported by internally, and issues raised by employees in interviews, including with respect and current and/or former company personnel and the company's workplace environment and culture. At your direction, Quinn Emanuel immediately launched a comprehensive investigation, which has now concluded. The following sets forth certain key findings and conclusions from the investigation without waiving any applicable privileges, including, but not limited to, the attorney-client privilege and work product protection. As an initial matter to protect investigation's integrity, on July 31st, 2024, Quinn Emanuel requested that a former employee, Dawson French, cease making public allegations against the company, as those were the topic of the ongoing investigation. We also requested that current employees refrain from public comments to ensure the investigation yielded accurate information and that witnesses were not tainted. The intent was to foster candid interviews and complete cooperation with the investigatory process. Dawson French is most likely Dogpack 404. I don't exactly know what that dude's real name is, but I'm guessing that's who they're talking about because Dogpack 404 did get hit with a cease and desist during this time. And I don't really know MrBeast to be the type of guy just to go around and make people shut up for just for no reason. So I'm guessing that is why. Like, he's not known for like claiming videos, taking down videos, cease and desisting people legally over them saying whatever. But to go on, Quinn Emanuel conducted 39 interviews of current and former employees. Over 4.5 million documents collected from mobile phones, emails, telegrams, discords, WhatsApps, and Slack were processed and reviewed. I have no idea what Slack is, by the way. I know all the others, which are just like talking apps, like group chat apps and such. I'm guessing Slack is the same. The collaboration and cooperation sought at the outset were achieved throughout this process. Quinn Emanuel thoroughly investigated all public allegations and any others that arose during that investigation. So one thing before we get to the next part is that I don't know exactly what they're talking about here with and all public allegations and any others that arose during the investigation, because there has been multiple other things that have basically came out since, and it's kind of hard to say exactly what they are talking about. There is some stuff from like the Dogpack videos, but I think Dogpack stopped making videos after the cease and desist, so maybe the workplace environment stuff, there might have been more allegations after that. I'm not completely sure, besides like the Squid Game thing, but I think that's going to be a separate thing entirely. The investigation produced the following significant findings: allegations of misconduct, examples of grooming, CP, etc. between company employee and minors are without basis. The allegations were soundly rejected, including by alleged victims. Allegations of the company knowingly employing individuals with proclivities or histories towards illegal or questionable legal conduct are similarly without basis. Here too, the allegations were uniformly rejected. Several isolated instances of workplace harassment and misconduct were identified during the investigation. The company was informed of such conduct and took swift and appropriate actions to address the incidences, including, where necessary, disciplining or letting go of implicated individuals. As you are well aware, the company has grown exceedingly quickly from a YouTube startup comprised of a group of talented young individuals to a much larger entity. It is not uncommon that policies and practices essential in a mature company would lag behind commercial success. This appears to have been the case and here and has, in certain instances, allowed for inappropriate conduct. It is clear that the company is committed to remedying historical issues and creating mature culture where the problematic behaviors are not tolerated as it enters this new phase. The company has already implemented or is in the process of implementing changes to ensure a safe and professional corporate culture today and moving forward. These include sending a clear message regarding tone at the top, hiring a new chief executive officer, chief people officer, and general counsel, and soon to be hired a chief financial officer, which I'm guessing is because all of these people were fired due to their misconduct. Training for all employees, developing new policies codified in an employee handbook, establishing an anonymous reporting mechanism / hotline for employees, so kind of like an HR department, I guess. swiftly terminating the individuals who violated the company policies, regardless of their position or level within the company, identifying additional employees for targeted training and executive coaching to address professionalism and compliance with the company. This officially concludes our investigation. We remain available if you need any follow-ups or further questions. Very truly yours, Alex Spira. Yeah, I bet they're truly yours because they pay you a lot of money. So he denies all the heavy allegations and just says, yeah, we had work harassment issue and we're fixing it, which is one of the allegations out of the three that is vague and one of the less hard-hitting ones. And that, you could basically get away with just saying you did and move on from. That has been called out by people. The entire response uses phrases I think purposefully try to go around saying he is or isn't guilty. Quote, without basis, or quote, soundly and uniformly rejected, are pretty vague and not good responses. It's a super neutral response, and all this is based off of interviews with someone who isn't law enforcement, and we have no idea who really was interviewed because of attorney-client privilege. And just because of, I think there's like another thing that protects the workers so they were not identified during this. This investigation kind of sucks, and this response really is not that good. Also, a lot of people pointed this out. Over 4.5 million documents were looked over in the span of 3 months. Millions, by the way. This says millions, and that's absurd to me. I think this is, if not one of the biggest law firms. But either way, like, such a huge, like, millions in 3 months and 90 days getting through millions of documents is actually insane. One of the main points that talks about not knowing that they hired people like Preds is false, because I'm sure Delaware was hired while MrBeast was a big business and went through the process of background checks. So said by ex-MrBeast crew member Jake the Viking himself, MrBeast knew about what was going on at first and still hired him anyway. Here's the truth. Yes, Delaware, my brother-in-law, yes, he is a registered S offender. He was 21. A 16-year-old accused him and others of SA when she was 11. Delaware took a plea deal. That's why there was no jail time, but he still had to register. His nickname isn't Delaware because he can't go back to Delaware. He's from Delaware. That was the dumbest thing I've heard. He's been back several times. He was hired before I was, and was actually the reason I got hired at MrBeast. Before being hired, Delaware sat down with Jimmy and Sue, Jimmy's mom, and explained to them everything. So yes, Jimmy knew. But again, this incident happened in 2010. Delaware was hired in 2017 to 2018. Delaware was also let go from the company before I was. Whether Delaware's side of the story is true or not, it's still odd that they would hire him anyway. Jake the Viking's statement was used as a community note on MrBeast's response tweet, but I think it has been took off since. Like, I think it's been on and off, because there was an update that it was took off, and then I went and looked and it was still on there, so I don't really know. People were also saying that MrBeast was trying to hide this response from his Twitter followers by adding it as a comment on the original post besides a tweet alone or a quote tweet to the original message regarding the Chris Tyson investigation. It's a good argument, and I can definitely believe it, but also I like it being a comment as it was under the original post, unlike a quote tweet would be or a tweet on its own. But he also could have made the response tweet a tweet of its own and linked the first original post in the comments or something. But either way, that's just another rumor. This topic hasn't been covered by people I watch, and it kind of sucks because I want to know if I'm the only person that doesn't think this response was good, or thinks that it's vague. Some others have been saying online, like, yeah, this is kind of vague, or hey, this isn't really a good response. Tom Dark and Willie Mack Show are the only two people that I know of. Other than that, like, some Ordinary Gamers and some other people that I mainly watch have not really talked about or covered this. Maybe because they haven't seen it because it's a comment under the original post, and maybe they just didn't see it, I don't know. Other than Tom Dark looking over it and Twitter responses by randoms and maybe a couple content creators, I just didn't see much coverage of this. Drama Alert covered it in some other places, but no one really has given their thoughts on it. So, but let me know your all's thoughts on that response, as I am very curious that it is oddly not talked about enough. The comments were really against MrBeast here. One of them says, so you investigated yourself and found nothing. We can interpret what you are admitting and denying when it comes to Dogpack's allegations, but in my opinion, you need to come off right out and make it clear. Yeah, so it's just not a great response, to be honest. But to go on, Dogpack and Rosanna Pacino, I think she was a former worker, or at least was in one of MrBeast's videos and got robbed of, like, winning a challenge in the video, and she's been like against him ever since. She's been a big advocate against MrBeast as well. And Dogpack and Rosanna made a collab video going over what was leaked from a group chat with MrBeast, Chris Tyson, and some other workers in it. Supposedly, it's a group NSFW chat or not safe for work chat with the workers that wasn't made by MrBeast but by someone else. It wasn't known at the time of the video that it was a possible not safe for work chat made by someone that wasn't MrBeast, but it had MrBeast, Chris Tyson, and some others in it, and they thought it was an actual main work chat. I don't know what the truth is, to be honest. There's been more proof of it being a not safe for work chat made by someone else rather than a clear work chat. It's just a whole he said she said statement, because like there's some people that are like, yeah, this was a work chat, and then other people are like, no, there's proof that it wasn't. Dogpack and other people have been providing just evidence back and forth against this. I don't really know. They go over memes and some other stuff that was sent in this group chat. Chris Tyson sent a picture of a supposedly topless Ivanka Trump, who was supposed to be a minor at the time, doing a photo shoot for a magazine or just for a famous photographer. And it turned out she was 18 at the time, but Chris thought that she was not 18 and sent it to the group chat anyway.
Photo of an alleged 13-year-old.
Oh my gosh.
Ava Tyson says, so this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Her modeling agent, John Casablancas, has been accused of pedophilia, but reverse searching the image only brings up 54 results, and most are just message boards of people using the image randomly. If this is true, they really tried to wile the from the internet. Do they mean hide from the internet? This sort of is a nightmare with receipts. How this is not being addressed. Okay, so they're saying it's Ivanka Trump. So is Ava here is like calling them out? Ava's like calling out the person who took the photo, the modeling agent, John Casablancas? Is that essentially what they're saying? Mind you, they're looking at a picture of what they believe could potentially be CSAM, so they're lucky it wasn't.
Oh, this isn't a work chat.
So Ava Tyson sends a photo of a young-looking girl in a sheer top.
Ivanka Trump when she was 13.
Yeah, and the message reads, so this photo is allegedly of Ivanka Trump when she was 13. Ava thought that this was possibly a 13-year-old, and she's posting it in a work chat. And then I've done a reverse image search, and I mean, it seems plausible that it is.
Why would you ever send somebody a picture of a 13-year-old topless?
A lot of people on the internet are labeling this picture as Ivanka Trump. I can't find any definitive proof that it is, but
It looks like her.
it does look like her. But like, yeah, it looks bad. And I can't confirm or deny if it is. I mean, it seems plausible to me, but either way, like having Ava Tyson, oh, this photo is allegedly Ivanka Trump when she's 13, and it's clearly sexually explicit. You can, you know, she's wearing a see-through top. That's insane.
That is.
So was the photo censored when Chris or Ava sent it? Like, was the photo censored when they sent it at all? Or was it only censored when they used it here? That would be my question. Because, I mean, the question is, I guess, like, you know, not to defend Chris Tyson here, because Chris Tyson is a weird person, undoubtedly, but were they showing the same, like, version of a censored image that they're showing here to, like, criticize the guy who was taking it and talk about it as if it was some kind of, like, you know, thing that should be covered? Because it seemed like it said censored in post. Yeah, it did, but I'm questioning, like, was it censored at all when Ava had it, or was it only censored when they had it? He obtained it uncensored, censored, then deleted, apparently? Okay, interesting. It was uncensored in the chat, censored with a red bar in the video, and blurred on YouTube editor. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, I mean, definitely shouldn't have been sent uncensored. That's pretty weird. That's pretty gross. But, you know, I guess the intention is something I'm questioning here, just generally speaking. Not that that would excuse it, but...
He also sent multiple memes that were just pred memes and sex memes. There was also MrBeast talking about an anime Chris would like that involved a kid and adult relationship. I don't know anything about this anime besides what it is, basically the name of it and what the description of it on Wikipedia is. It's supposedly a dude in his 20s and a girl in high school that ran away from home and now lives with him. Supposedly it's a father-daughter type of relationship, but with anime you'd never really know, as it is perverted a lot at times. Even in Dragon Ball Z it's perverted.
Hijihiro says, I bet Chris would love this show. Why?
What's this show about?
Well, it's interesting that you ask, because this show is about a romantic relationship between a 26-year-old salaryman and a 17-year-old high school runaway. It's well known online to be a controversial anime. And this anime is based on even more explicit novels that go into the details of this romantic relationship between an adult and an girl.
So Jimmy and...
That's also false, is it? I mean, it wouldn't be surprising to me if Chris was looking at some kind of, like, lolly/gooner groomer anime, right? That wouldn't be surprising to me at all. That's not what the show is about. What is the show about? What show is this? It's a Japanese romantic comedy light novel series. It was serialized online. Plot. Young, handsome salaryman Yoshida had finally gathered up the courage to confess his feelings for his employer and longtime crush. Sadly, though, he ended up being rejected and goes out drinking with his coworker and best friend Hashimoto to relieve himself of his sorrows. While heading back home in a drunken state, he meets Sayu Ogiwara, a teenage high school girl who asks to spend the night with him. He lets her in out of pity because he's too exhausted to argue, saying to himself he'll chase her out tomorrow. The next day, now sobered up, Yoshida asks Seiyu and how she ended up in his apartment. She reveals that she had run away from her family and home in Hokkaido and has been prostituting herself to random men in exchange for a place to stay. Now knowing her backstory, Yoshida, feeling bad for her, finds himself unable to kick her out of his house, and their time living together begins. Okay, so I guess the question is how old she is when they start dating, I guess. This is cancer, don't watch anime. I mean, true. Yeah, obviously. The show's a bit deeper than what the synopsis would lead you to think. I mean, the criticism here is they're essentially saying they did not date. Well, okay, they don't date. So does he just take her in and is nice to her and there's no dating at all? I've never seen the show. They don't date, he just lets her live there? Okay. Well, I feel like maybe if that is the case, they probably should have looked into this a bit more. It's a father figure type deal? Gotcha. Okay.
A 26-year-old salaryman and a 17-year-old high school runaway. It's well known online to be a controversial anime. And this anime is based on even more explicit novels that go into details of this romantic relationship between an adult and an underage girl.
So Jimmy in the chats is saying, I bet Chris would love this show because it's right up her alley.
Why do you think Chris would love that show, Jimmy?
John Smith sends this, I bet Chris would love this show. Adding it to my list, you know your boy loves slice of life. Okay, so their interpretation is Jimmy sending it because he knows that Ava's a file. Maybe the actual interpretation is he's sending it because Chris knows that Ava's a lolicon, but maybe the most charitable to MrBeast is it's literally a slice of life anime, and he wasn't showing it to Ava because there was any lolly stuff in it, and there wasn't like anything really weird. That's basically, I guess, what the delineation is here.
Here are some chat messages talking about Digimon, how the first episode of season 5 is a beach episode, so much boobies, and if you don't follow the plot, Food Wars is just food and porn. Oops, she clarifies, underage porn.
Oh.
They're like, hey, we're all second-year high schoolers, and now we are...
MrBeast could have meant it in a perv or not perv way whenever he's like, Chris would like this. But we don't really know. Other than that, there's nothing really in this video with Dogpack and Roseanne. You can tell that Dogpack is kind of uncomfortable. You can also tell that Roseanne is out of touch, and it's kind of annoying.
This is like Roseanne's first day on the internet. I mean, she is like fucking old, so I assume she just has no idea what's going on here. She's just like, what? Vor? She's like shocked. It's like, bro, you're not far enough down the rabbit hole to understand what's going on here.
She overly reacts to like certain memes that are just kind of like edgy. And her and Dogpack also overreact to certain things. They also kind of egg on, quote, it's a professional work chat, by the way. And some of the memes that sure are a little risky or edgy, and shoot, maybe even aged poorly, but overall aren't as bad as they try to make them. They try to say that MrBeast was supportive and knew of Chris's behavior, which by Chris's multiple tweets in support of Shadman, the Shadman content poster, the clips of him talking about Shadman on stream, and how he acted at times, I'd assume that MrBeast probably knew about these type of weird behaviors, but there really isn't proof in this, quote, work group chat of anything, except that one message from MrBeast talking about the anime that Chris would like, but we just don't really have full context of that, so it's hard to say. It's not clear cut. They were trying to make it seem that MrBeast was, saying all this rancid stuff and all this other stuff like, oh, he's the bad guy in here and stuff. But no, MrBeast did not seem like the bad guy here, besides that one message, which we don't even have full context for. The main points are, from this entire situation, that Chris sent Shadman content to kids, which is wrong and gross, and I think a type of grooming, as you're sending adult content to people who aren't 18, and to me, it seems that way because you're showing and encouraging the consumption of that content and that behavior. And it's just weird. It's very weird. It's very gross. As someone with personal group chats, you can have laughs, be offensive, send risky memes, and make risky jokes, but there is a limit, and I think Chris only really crossed the line whenever he sent that picture of a topless Ivanka Trump, where he also assumed that this topless Ivanka Trump was not 18. There is also now evidence against MrBeast that he has also supposedly been linked to several crypto accounts that are involved in illegal insider trading, as well as pump and dumps, which, to explain, after people did a deep dive into a crypto account that was linked to MrBeast via old tweets, It was found to be a part of multiple pump and dump crypto projects, aka scams, and the money that was spread and sent across over 50 crypto wallets. Some of these investments were having insanely high profits, and the total profits overall on the crypto stuff were $23 million. The owner of a crypto account is anonymous, but public till after someone proves or says that account belongs to them. And thanks to some old tweets, there is proof of it being MrBeast's account. The transactions, how much and where he invested, and everything else are also public on the what is called the blockchain. During the crypto era, where crypto was really big and all the people were making tweets and Twitter accounts just based off that, MrBeast was also seen promoting weird crypto projects, and how they found him was due to a tweet talking about an NFT being bought and MrBeast was the buyer, and they put together that the account was his.
So OX9 E67, this is the actual wallet. Now this one allegedly belongs to MrBeast. And as you can see, there is a whole bunch of money moving in and out amongst various different exchanges and through various different projects, right? And of course, the people who have been mapping this project have just been expanding and researching just how this connects. So while this looks confusing, let's get down to the brass tacks and the very basics of this situation. How do we prove MrBeast is actually that specific account? So, according to this investigation, they've researched from this main wallet, OX9E67D018, and through that, they actually had identified multiple side wallets that they allegedly claimed also belonged to MrBeast. So how this initially began, how do people identify that this wallet was actually MrBeast's? Well, obviously, as you all know, cryptocurrency wallets are pretty much anonymous until an actual influencer or somebody links it, on social media or tells people, right? And the way that some people tell each other that, yes, this is actually belonging to us is through tweeting about it publicly. So this one actual post uploaded by Connor Grogan, J. Connor Grogan, MrBeast doxed himself back in 2021, where they provide an Etherscan address to that OX9E67 wallet. Now, there's a screenshot of a tweet where, as you can see, CryptoPunk's bot, so these are automated bots that basically tweet out the actual activity of massive NFT projects. And at the time, this is probably around like 2022, CryptoPunks was one of the hottest projects out there. Every big influencer who was into crypto was telling people, "Muda, buy a CryptoPunk," or at least that's what I was told. I never bought a CryptoPunk. Thank God I didn't jump into it. We'll get to that later. So Punk 939 bought for 50 Ethereum. So again, this was bought by OX9E67, and of course, in this screenshot, MrBeast comes in and says, "I bought this one." Now, as you all know on my channel, one of the things that I really go for is the ability to actually back up all the evidence that I show on my channel. And one of the things that I like to do is go to the source and confirm if these things were true. So I found the actual original tweet by CryptoPunk's bot. Unfortunately, I did not find a MrBeast comment. So it probably either got deleted or maybe it unfortunately didn't exist. Now, I'm not accusing Connor of lying about this situation. I actually don't think Connor would lie about it. I don't think he has a reason to. But again, the more you go down into it, another thing actually ended up getting revealed.
The tweets of good evidence have since been deleted from MrBeast's Twitter account, but the stuff talking about the weird crypto projects is still up, or like promoting them. At least at the time of some ordinary gamers making a video into it, the tweets are still up. Some of the tweets promoting cryptos projects are still up. Now, where the illegal stuff comes in is that it seems like MrBeast was involved in insider trading, which is a bigger topic that is usually talked about in politics, where people with inside information buy a stock before the price of it rises, which is illegal as it's like an unfair market and such. MrBeast would be in group chats with other YouTubers that talked about projects that he was not collaborated with, would buy these before they came out or whenever they first came out, and dump all of it and sell it all at the peak, which then just basically crashes the value of that stock.
RN, any other NFT I should look at? I don't know if that's a good KSI impression, but I'm trying my best here. Now, according to this, the wallet receives an initial batch of 1 million of those super tokens, right? So they get 1 million of these tokens into the main OX9E6 wallet. So that wallet, then, here's the wild part, okay? This is where this is actually intellectually doing it. Like many influencers that I've seen where like it's usually they get the amount, they immediately dump it off, and it's very evident and visible. Here, it's all done very intelligently, where the wallet then distributes to side wallets. So for instance, one of the side wallets that was identified allegedly with OX4F7B6. So that wallet basically farmed small increments over a period between March to June 2021. So MrBeast keeps getting this supply of super, which he then distributes to numerous wallets, okay? The main account that was receiving it was apparently this Bobby Digital wallet, OX2CO7. So you can just see money outpouring into these various accounts right here. So what's interesting is once they were siphoned to these smaller accounts, allegedly, and if you're looking at it, you're looking at 5.82 million, 3.3 million, 249,000, 60,000. At that point, these amounts were then transferred out and actually exchanged. So in one case, they went to Uniswap over here, which again, they were swapping, and it ended up totaling out, according to this Arkham trace, $9.2 million fucking dollars. That is actually the craziest return on investment I've ever seen by putting up this shill token to your audience. And even an investigation by Soma XBT, who actually said that, MrBeast allegedly made $10 million by backing low cap IDO crypto tokens promoted by influencers like Lark Davis, Crypto Banter, KSI. He also said, yes, this is based on that wallet that we're talking about on Arkham Intelligence. And of course, the proof that he invested only 100K into Superfarm DAO, a screenshot from Leo Trade's live stream, he accidentally revealed MrBeast, if we can do the 100K, thing is yada yada. So of course, you look into exactly what's going on over here. This is the vesting allotment, but this is actually the investment from MrBeast going in to this OX4079, right? And of course, you can see 100.88K. And of course, there's other accounts here, other accounts there doing various different investments of 30,000 and 10,000. And again, if you look at the actual transfer, you can see from the bulk sender, OX9E67 gets 1.2 million. Then OX9E67 sends to a side wallet 1.2 million. And again, the more and more you go down to it within a few days, that wallet then literally gets rid of all of those tokens, right? So now it's sitting at 0 super. So according to it, once that side wallet gets the account within a few days, that sells every single one of its supplies. And in the following months, the main wallet, OX9E6, receives several unlocks, to which all of those, as soon as they're unlocked, just literally slide all the way to the side wallets.
And this is all alleged, but some ordinary gamers also made a very good investigation. He knows more about this crypto stuff than I do. His video will also be linked in the description below because his video talks about this situation a little bit better. I'm sure I used his video or clips of his video in this, as he's good at explaining it. I don't really know much about crypto. I don't even know how to enter those blockchains and all that. But he has done investigations before. But to go on, MrBeast currently, other than his response that I read earlier, acts like none of this is going on and very publicly ignores it, as he keeps posting TikToks and videos still on anything else. Despite all the controversy, his videos have not been hit with any decrease of viewers, as he's still gaining tons of subscribers and getting tens if not hundreds of millions of views on his new videos. The ignoring method really is not a bad method to use when in controversy. People have used this method before and it works well, and out of anyone who could get away with most controversies, MrBeast is the one channel or one person who can definitely get away with just ignoring stuff, and he knows it. One of the bigger issues is all the big allegations, but someone as big as him, an entire business you could say, some of the allegations are just going to be small fry to him and an everyday occurrence. He was dealing with hate even before he actually did stuff wrong and before anyone had a valid reason to hate him, so expect him to rarely ever actually talk about any of these things and keep ignoring stuff. The only time I think he'll ever respond to stuff is if it's like pred stuff or like a big situation like this, where someone has been openly exposed with a lot of proof and it caused so much backlash for a long time, like the Chris Tyson stuff. Because he's had so many other allegations, has ignored so many of them, but except this one time, he's actually made a response. But with all that said, thank you all for watching, and let me know your all's thoughts about all this in the comments down below. I already gave mine throughout the entire video. Like I said, the response is very poor. People are not going to like it. It's not a great response in general. He needs to actually talk and be more clear about this, because you can also tell, I don't know if I talked about it earlier, but the lawyer's whole purpose is to defend him. And of course they're going to make a very vague and very more in his favor response and investigation. I don't think just interviewing 39 people and then going off of just their statements is really enough. I I just honestly don't think the response is enough. And but I think he's just going to get away with it, and he's made his quote response. And unless this backlash gets any bigger some way somehow, it's going to basically just come over, or it'll be just like that thing that's always kind of on him, but he never really has to talk about. Dogpack is probably kind of done as well. He might have another video or two he makes on this entire situation. Hopefully, if he does, he has like a lot of evidence and it's properly made, or else he's just going to dig a bigger hole on his channel, because he really did like ruin his reputation with the third video because of how poorly it was made. Hopefully, new video next Saturday. I had like an idea for a video I can make before then. I made a video last week that you all should go check out. It's a very cool story about a reaction YouTuber who disappeared for a few years. But anyway, thank you all for support, and thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow my Twitter at PERK3030. Again, thank you all for support. It really does mean everything. And in the end, I'm PERK30, and God bless.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
That's
a
bad.
ton of Nazi symbols. One thing that really bothers
Oh no, that's a ton of Nazi symbols. How terrible. Imagine having swastikas all over your walls, right out of frame of where your camera is. I can't imagine anyone doing that.